subscribers. Hope you're all well. Apologies that I've been rather slack in posting videos lately. It's just I've got so many kind of ideas and things going on in my mind. I kind of like seize up like gears. So I get some new idea and I've got to kind of implement it. I've got to get it implemented like the IBM System 23 keyboard. I've got to get it done. I've got to get it done. Anyway, I've not looked at the Elektronika MK-52 for quite some time because I've basically been stuck. The issue is that the keypad. So you can see here we've got a PCB, but the on top of it we've got a thin film kind of matrix. So we've got, I guess this is rows, and then maybe on the top we've got the columns. That degrades. So I've kind of been a bit stuck. But since I've been doing a lot of keyboard design, it's like, well, I can maybe design a replacement keyboard. It's going to be a little tricky because obviously there's probably not much space for the switches, replacement switches. So, but there is something we could probably do. So if you don't know, so the Elektronika MK-52 is a Soviet programmable calculator. So pretty cool. It's got some interfaces on the back, so you can add in expansion ROMs. So I've got the BRP4 and the BRP3 expansion ROMs. There is a game one as well, apparently. So it just goes in, just going to line up the 2.5mm spaced, something like that. I don't want to put it in now and bend all the pins, but basically just sticks on the back like that. So I've got the other one here, comes with a little cover to protect the pins. So that's that's pretty cool. And I think there is another interface here that you can add, maybe a printer or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then we've got kind of like these fake ones at the end there. So yeah, so a Soviet programmable calculator. I think there was a MK-62 was kind of like the vertical orientation version. Although I don't know if it could take ROMs or not, cartridges. So yeah, Keypad is pretty shithouse, and like I said, probably doesn't work because it's just deteriorated. So I have started designing a replacement in KiCad. So I've got, if these are rows, I've got the rows figured out, but it's the columns on the thin film that I need to sort out, which is hard because it's so delicate it just breaks if you even breathe on it. So I'm going to pull this one apart just to see if I can have a look at the matrix before it disintegrates further. So you can see it runs on batteries. It's also got a little AC adapter here, so 5 volts. So you can actually get like a USB. You can actually run it off USB. So I think, yeah. So it actually looks like. So this one's never been opened. As you can see, it's still got the plastic film on the display there. I do actually have spare replacement displays thanks to Mr. Volkman. He sent me a bunch a while ago. So we'll leave that on. But it looks like you've got the good old, I don't know if you can see it, the security snot in one of the screw holes with the factory stamp. So that means that no one has been in here and opened it up. Not that it's really a problem with these ones. It's usually on the computers that it's a problem. Ooh, Phillips head. Because they will, what are they? The KM type capacitors. They've got platinum and palladium and silver in them. They are a favourite target of scrappers. So they'll basically ruin a vintage computer that some fool like me in the West will pay hundreds of dollars for the sake of a few rubles worth of precious metals. Anyway, such is life. Imagine when some of it was probably done in the 90s, it was pretty desperate situation. So I think I might need a smaller Phillips head. I think that's a little bit too, it's not really Oh, I think I got it there. Did I get it? Maybe I got it. Anyway, I'll open this up and we'll have a look at one that hasn't been previously assaulted by me, and we'll see if we can get a keypad designed and get these things back into ship-shape working condition. So that's 2 screws undone. Does it just flip off, or do I have to worry about something under here? I don't think there's anything under here. Don't remember. No. Should be okay. There we go. Okay. Alright. So that is the battery connection. You can see here we've got the little I guess this is the voltage converter for the display. I'm guessing that is actually removable. It's actually plugged in there. So if you do get one of these and it's not working, it's possible that this little board has somehow popped out. So you might just need to put it back in. We've got some pretty small surface mount technology there. I think this might be the RAM, because I think on this one has had an upgrade done where you can swap out the RAM, like increase the RAM size. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, so you can see we've got the little thin film connector there. That's also a problematic thing. As you can see here, what I've done is I've actually replaced it with some ribbon cable and some crapped-on tape up here to insulate it. But that was one of the changes I had to make, because this just that was one of the problems. So it looks like we've got screws up in the corner here. Oh, my wife is heading out. Let me say goodbye to them. So just undoing the screws. Of course, there's 2 different types of screws. Both flatheads, but just 2 different types. I guess put in whatever's available. So there we go. 2 different types. Fair enough. Okay. That's the wife's car ready to go. So now is another one. Another one there in the middle. Now it will lift up. Let's just zoom out a little bit. So yes. So the keyboard, let's get the switches out there. So the keyboard is clipped in. So we just need to kind of undo these clips here. So you can see a date on here, 93. So this is definitely post-Soviet, but obviously it was designed during the Soviet time. Let's just get the little adapter out there. That's better. So I think it's yeah, it is soldered on the thin film connector for the keypad. It is actually soldered on, so it's not one of these things where you can just undo it. But let's see if we can get this out. So I've documented all of this. It's just the plastic bit that is the problem. Yeah, problem. Which is incorrect, because there is a problem. Okay, just this one a little bit. Come on there. Okay, there we go. So there we go. So I was going to, let me just desolder the battery contacts, just to get rid of that case. I think, what do I do? Just pull it out, pull it through. Right, let me do this. Is a little bit fiddly. All right, I just chopped it off. That'll be easier. So yeah, so we've got a bit of foam here for I guess the cushiness, or just to give some sort of tactile feedback but you can see it's all pretty much obliterated. So it's these black traces here that I need to make a copy of, so that I can implement my keypad. So I've had a look. There's a few kind of tactile switches that I can do. There's like those dome type that I could use, or there are very, very thin tactile, like surface mount tactile switches that I could probably fit there, and they would give very good, they would work very well actually. There's the display. I guess VFT, so vacuum fluorescent display, hence why it's got that separate little power supply voltage converter board. But let me right, so this is what I need. So let me take some photos of this so it's documented before it disintegrates any further. I should be good for doing it now. I've got photos, but you can see, so we've got the plastic film, thin film on top. So to 4 connections there, which then go here to this one here, which is also problematic. So it looks like we've got, like I said, I think I'm going to class these as columns perhaps. So it says 32 keys in total, 4 columns, 8 rows. I think that's the way it is. Anyway, it works. I'll get the same. I'll figure it out anyway. So you can see you've got the thin film on top, and then you've got that little kind of insulation barrier there for the traces. So it's all pretty simple. Just make contact. You can see, yeah, even just disintegrating. So let's, I'll go have a look at those photos and finish off the schematic in KiCad for the keypad, and see if we can make a PCB. Yeah. So here is my completed schematic, how I think it is. So actually what I thought were the columns and what were the rows, I think I've actually swapped around. So anyway, so this is what I think the matrix is, and I believe this is what the connector is, the thin film connector to the motherboard. So if we look at the PCB, there we go. So that's the layout. I'm not entirely convinced this is the correct layout at the moment. It seems to be about 12 or 13 millimeters between the switches. So that there is 12, and I've measured the PCB to be what's this, 104 mil by, yeah, well, okay, I need to go in the corner for that, but I'm not worried about the height. But it's just, so it fits on the PCB, but this switch here should only be 5 mil from the edge, not 9 mil. So I think maybe these gaps are a little bit off, but obviously if I print it out, I should be able to figure it out pretty quickly. So these switches I've got, these tactile switches I've found are 0.8 millimeters thick. So if we have a look at the, I don't know if that's going to be thin enough. So pretty thin. Ignore that. That's just, I've just chosen an existing footprint, a surface mount connector. It doesn't really matter, just to solder the connecting ribbon on. But yes, that's 0.8 mil thick, these ones. Maybe. And actually, how are they? Yeah, so they are surface mount soldered on. How am I going to solder them on? I guess I'm going to have to use a heat gun or something. Put some solder on and then use a heat gun. So that's what I'm thinking of at the moment. Entirely, it's still up in the air. But I think I've got the keypad schematic sorted. So it's just a matter of finding the right switch. I'll have a look at what I've found already. So this is the tactile switch I'm thinking of using at the moment. As you can see here, it's 0.8 of a millimeter thick, so incredibly thin. PCBs are standard 1.6 mil thick, so I could reduce that to say maybe 1 millimeter thick. So that'll give me an extra 0.6 of a mil to play with. So that's the idea at the moment. I also found these domes, obviously incredibly even thinner. So these would actually be ideal, but I'm just not sure. I can get the footprint. They've got footprints already made, so that's not a problem designing the PCB in KiCad. But it says Keypad domes are designed to be placed on PCB, not soldered. So I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to attach them. I guess maybe some tape, put them on and then cover them with a row of tape. I'll have to do some research. You know, it's obviously I should be able to find pictures and ideas how to do it. So maybe I'll end up using these. What is it? So 0.4 of a millimeter, is that right? So they're quite small as well. So these would probably be ideal. This is probably what I need to do. But I've started with this first, so but yeah, I might go for that. Anyway, so that's the idea, that's the plan. I'm sorry, I thought I'd made some videos about the MK-52 before, but obviously hopefully I can get the keypad working, then I can actually show it working. Now with the ROMs, I think the ROMs have been dumped as well. I don't know if there's like a multi-ROM that's been designed. If not, hey, that's another project I could try. So there we go. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing with this. Let's see how it goes. Bye for now.